Alright, welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm playing No Man's Sky, and anybody who knows me knows this is my main base in No Man's Sky. I built this years ago and love it, and this is me running it in PSVR 2. I've designed it to look a little bit like the Phoenix from Gatchaman or Battle of the Planets, if you remember that old series. And I really love this ship. Now, this is me on the front of the ship, so I'm just going to zoom myself back into my view here, switch to first-person perspective. Yeah, that's what I normally look like in the game. Let's switch to looking through my eyeballs here. Okay, what they did in No Man's Sky a little while ago was they added in a new update called Relics, where you can add bones and skeletons and displays showing sort of... I don't know how you'd describe it. Skeletal remains. You can even have a pet that walks around that's like a walking, living skeleton. It's very cool. If you're into like the, Halloween gothic scene, that must be really awesome. People are making great bases that are all, haunted mansions, etc. But mine is a space theme. I've got the Phoenix spaceship here. I love No Man's Sky because it is a sci-fi game, and I love science fiction. So I just thought to myself, well, it's neat that you've got... Oh, there's one of my vehicles over there. It's neat that you've got this capability to add in these bones and stuff, but I don't really have any need for that given the theme of my game or the style of thing that I'm going for with my base and No Man's Sky. But somebody posted something that I just thought, oh, heck yes, I'm going to do that on my base. And you're going to see me get a second attempt at it here. Now, let's just go in. You've already seen from the thumbnail what I'm about to do. Let's just go in here, down the stairs, and we got to go to living quarters. Now, I got, again, inside here, it's a very space theme. There's something I picked up once on a planet. We're talking science fiction. This is a spaceship, and I've got little spaceships for my big spaceship. But I thought to myself, there is a section that's sort of engineering over there. Up here toward the quarters, I've actually got some of my weirder items that I've collected. And I thought, this might go nicely with my weirder items. Now, what am I getting? I'm going to put a picture here, but H.R. Giger, who made the alien design for the '79 film, he's got a very famous picture of him sitting in a gothic chair made up of bones. Now, it's not a great picture here, so I'm actually going to add in, here's another one of Debbie Harry from Blondie. She's sitting in that chair, a little bit better view of it there. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll make that chair for this game. Now, I've already given this an attempt, and you can see what I tried here. This is my attempt at that chair. Not very good. I'm going to try and redesign it here, I think. But as you can see, yeah, this is a weird electric cube I picked up on a world, and I thought, well, let's put my bone chair, my Giger-esque bone chair here. Unfortunately, this doesn't look very good. First of all, the legs are all wrong. The rib cage is way too big, and that was the best thing I could come up with for something to sit on. Plus, the head is all wrong. So I'm going to just change these out. Now, let's just pick that up. And I'm going to see if I can... I think I've got a better skeleton, because that's too deep. If I could squish that or shrink it or something, I've tried adjusting it as best I can, but I've got a new one I'm going to try that might be closer to what we saw in that picture from H.R. Giger. So let me just go to my inventory here. I got a bunch of bones, which include here a lengthy rib cage. I think if I swap out this bulky rib cage and make a thin one, maybe that'll be closer, so let's give that a whirl. So what I want to do then, is... Oh yeah, no, that's right. I want to edit parts, which I think is this. Nope. Build. You go into here, and the bones are all down here. Okay, here we go. So what I want to do is edit parts, which is L1. How the heck do you do this? I've done it before. Also, you can view variants. So let's just go with... What are the variants here? Fossilized biped legs look more like... What the heck? That looks like a box. We won't get there. Anyway, So if I was to pick that up, oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, so now I could put that down, but what I'm going to do instead is edit an existing part. Ah, I know I've done this before. Hang on. Select part, oh, maybe with R2? Nope. There we go. Okay, took me a second. So I want to delete that rib cage, so that's the X button. It's gone. I don't want to delete the wall, so never mind that. Now let's try this lengthy rib cage. Okay, first of all, that's in the wrong angle. So let me just get myself squared up here. And you can rotate. Now, let me just see here. If I rotate with X, yeah, it'll spin it that way. That's not what we want. What we want to do is spin it on the other axis, which I believe is R3. That's another axis. That's no good. Let's see if I can do... There we go. Okay, so I want it to be like that. And smaller, which is triangle. Ah, no, that's jump. Hang on. There we go. Okay, triangle. So that'll be about... Oh, there we go. Okay, it's a little too big still. Let's just shrink it down. I don't know if that's any better, really. Well, hang on. Let's go here. Let me just increase the size a bit. I don't know. Is that going to work? Was that closer? Ooh, should we have rotated that? Maybe have the spine the other way, but then the rib cage wouldn't look right. Again, that's what I'm going for with the Giger chair. I think I'm going to live with that because the rib cage, although it turns at the top, if I had that... You know what? No, I think I am going to. Okay, let's go back. Build and delete. Let's put that back in again. Where did that go? Okay, lengthy rib cage. So again, we will rotate the axis. Ah, no! Okay, delete. Okay. Rotate. X. Okay, wrong rotation. Ah, but if we do this, and then we switch to that, well, okay, bring it all the way around. Okay, so let's do that kind of a thing there, and then I want to shrink it, so let's go this direction. Here we go. Okay. Ooh, yeah, what do you think of that? That about right? Now I could find a trick to make that... You know what? I'm going to stick with that. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's get out of edit mode. Yeah, that's actually, I do prefer that curve that way. Okay, so now... Oh, you're probably wondering about this little tail thing here. So a problem with this is they only released the left leg, and you can see there it's got like a thing that goes into the pelvis, which is fine on this side of the chair, but on this side of the chair those little things are sticking outward. So I thought, well, why don't I put a tail on there, almost like a whip that looks like it's hanging. So that's what that's all about. Okay, now let me get the skulls on here. So build, I managed to get some human-like skulls. So let's put him on here. Ooh, why can't I? Okay, so I can put him there. Why can't I put him up the... Why can't I put you there? Maybe let's go to free placement. There we go. Okay. I need to bring him... Okay, let's set that... It's too big still, so let's make that... you can't tell because you're not in 3D VR like I am. Let's shrink it down so that it looks about human size, given the scale of this world. And I'll just go with there. Come on. There we go. And then can I put my other one also there? Build another. Yes, I can. Okay, so let's shrink that down. Whoop, shrink that down. And put it there. Okay, it doesn't want to go further back. Just kind of, that sucks. I can't put that there. Okay, let's try that. I think that's about right. And then one more. Prototype. And again, shrink it down. And I guess that's, let's see, if I put my hand up, maybe. No, it's not going to do it. Okay. It's about, oh, hold my hand still. Hang on. I just want to get it. Don't know if I'm loving that either. Why don't I... If I remove... Okay, let's pick the skulls up. Let me, since that skull is about in the right spot, let me remove the rib cage. That. And then we'll put the prototype skull, protoform. Oi! Hang on. Okay. Okay. Let's... Oh, no. Okay. Delete. There we go. Okay, let's put protoform skull on top of this skull. Really? I can't, even with toggle free placement, I can't set this on top of this? That's weird. I just want to put it, let's shrink it down. Yeah, like just put that skull on top of that skull. What the heck? Why can't I do that? Put that skull on top of that skull. Okay, might be a way to trick it here, but I don't know. Okay, well, you know what? Let's go back. We'll put that lengthy rib cage back in. Now we gotta shrink it down first. We gotta rotate it. Oops, too far. Rotate it. Okay, and then rotate it a long way around. Sorry about the jiggly stuff there. I go back a bit more. Oh, got a bit of it. There, yay. Oh, it's too big. That is too big. Okay, hang on. Let's delete and bring that back up again. Sorry. Okay. So again, rotate. I'm getting faster at this. Oh, too far. Rotate. And shrink it down. Okay, there we go. So now it's in the room. Better. Come on. About... Trying to get this centered. Bear with me here. Well, it ain't great, but you know what? Now I think if I put another skull on, because in the picture, it is going through the skull. Okay, and then we shrink that down and get it as close as we can. And then we'll get another skull and we'll shrink it down, and at least it'll look like it's supposed to be part of this quote-unquote chair. And there we go. Well, it's not ideal, but you know what? It certainly looks better than it did before. Now, I just got to find something to replace that dish, because that doesn't really look like a... thing you can sit on, does it? Looks like somewhere I should put my keys. Pretty crazy looking keys. But you know what? I'll take that. That's pretty close. I'm happy enough with how this has turned out. So yeah, gonna leave it there. All right, well, there is my attempt at an H.R. Giger chair, kind of. It doesn't entirely look like what it looks like in the game, in the pictures from himself and Debbie Harry sitting in it, but I'm overall pretty pleased with that. I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, well, there we go. My H.R. Giger chair is part of my crazy Phoenix base in No Man's Sky, and I really, really love it. I'm going to leave it there, so until next time, I'll see you down the rabbit hole.